Hey guys, we'll be doing a short box opening for this structure deck R06. R stands for revamp or restructured, either one. And it happens that this structure deck R06 have the same release date with Premium Pack 20. And this SR06 actually features this ace monster from the previous structure deck. So this card actually called Mao Diablos. So the previous structure deck main playstyle is focusing dark attribute monsters, and there's a virus introduced in this previous structure deck. You need to tribute one dark attribute monster with 2500 attack points and above, and declare one type either spell or trap, and destroy all the declared type in your opponent's hand and field. And for 3 consecutive turns, you will check on what cards your opponent draw, then destroy the declared type. Structure deck R usually have 5 to 6 new cards introduced. So we'll take a look on what and how this structure deck is introduced. So let's start opening it. Okay, so this is the new ace monster. So usual, we'll have one guidebook, and we have this mat. Wow, so this 1, 2, 3 is the new monster it's introduced in this structure deck R. Then this is the deck. So take a look. So we have 2, 3, 4, 5. 5? Is it 5? Take a look on. Oh, and 1 at the last one. And a token. For every structure deck R, there's always a token inside. So we have actually 6 new cards introduced in this pack, in this structure deck. The rest are reprints. We'll start with the introduction of the 6 new supported cards for this SDR06. So the first one will be introducing the main monsters. So they added 2 words. Ankoku. Ankoku means like darkness. So the Devil King Darkness Diablos, this is the ace card for this SR06. So this is a level 8 dragon type monster. So this card effect, they have 1 and 2 effect on this card, and you can activate it once each per turn. So if a dark attribute monster is distributed on the field, you can actually special summon this card from your hand or from the grave. Please do note that if this card is inside your grave, and this card is required to be in your grave if you wanted to activate this card when you tribute a dark attribute monster. So in other words, you can't actually activate a virus and tribute this card, then use its effect to special summon this card from the grave to the field. This is not allowed. And the second effect is you can tribute one dark attribute monster. Your opponent chooses one of their hand card and place it on their top deck or bottom deck. So kind of like a hand controlling deck. You can actually control your opponent's hand and shrunk their sizes. So this is the ace monsters for this SDR06. Next, this is another ultra. So this is Lilith, level 3 dark attribute fiend type monster. So if this card is normal summon, this card attack points is this card original attack points become 1000. So Okay. So the main point of this card is the second effect. You can actually tribute one dark attribute monster and chooses 3 normal trap card from your deck and show it to your opponent. Then your opponent randomly pick one and set that card from your deck, from the selected card to the field, and the remaining 2 cards is returned to the deck, and this effect can be activated on your opponent's turn as well. So by setting the card out means you have easier, you can actually pull out Virus's card from the deck out easier, and by setting that card on the field, you can't really activate trap cards when it is set on that particular turn. So you have to wait until the next turn to activate the trap card. So this card is actually very good because it actually helps you to pull out the Virus's card from your deck. Next we have this Afrima. So you can actually discard this card to search for the new field card. You can just discard this card from your hand and you can search for the new field card introduced in this structure deck R. So the main purpose is to rely lesser on terraforming because terraforming is limited to 1 in the OCG. So this card actually helps in pulling and searching the field card from your deck. And this card has another second effect as well, and it can be only activated once per turn. So you can actually tribute 1 dark attribute monster to draw 1 card, and if it happens that you tribute another copy of dark attribute monster, you can actually search for 1 dark attribute monster with defense points 2000 and above, and you can actually search it to your hand. So if you tribute itself or another dark attribute monster, you can actually draw 1. But if you actually tribute another dark attribute monster, you can in exchange search for the boss monster, because the boss monster defense is 2000 points. You can actually search for 1 dark attribute monster with 2000 points and above. So this card allows you to search for the field and to allows you to search for the ace monster as well. Next, so we have this strong field card introduced. So this card name is called as Shadow Dystopia. So when this card is on the field, all monster on the field is treated as dark attribute. And if you have any card effect that you need to tribute a monster, you can actually in exchange uses 1 monster your opponent control to tribute, and this effect can be only activated once per turn. And the third effect is during your own end phase or your opponent end phase, if you actually tribute any monster this turn, you can special summon as much token on the respective player's field. So if you actually tribute 3 monster during this turn, 3 of your own monster during this turn, you can actually special summon 3 shadow token on your side of the field during the end phase, and the same goes to your opponent. So the strong part for this field magic is you actually changes the monster attribute on the field. So some decks might be affected, such as for example light attribute deck. They can't actually use honors anymore because they are no longer light attribute monster. Next, we'll have this bad deck destruction virus. So this is actually a new virus introduced in this deck. So you can actually tribute 1 dark attribute monster with 3000 attack points and below. So for every 500 attack points, you can actually destroy your opponent hand cards or their deck. So this actually depends on your opponent. Your opponent can either choose to destroy cards from their hand or to destroy cards from their deck as well. And if the destroy card cannot activate their effect during this turn, and so next will be introduce this the Devil Deck Destruction Virus. So you can actually tribute one Dark Attribute monster with a 3000 attack point and below, and for every 500 attack points, your opponent can choose a card from their hand or from their deck and send it to, and destroy it and send to the graveyard. And if you actually tribute a monster with 2000 attack points and above, you actually gain additional effects. For 3 turns, check what your opponent draw, and if it's a monster, destroy it. And this card actually have another additional effects. If a monster is destroyed by this card effect, that monster effect cannot be activated on that particular turn. So, for example, if your opponent actually chooses Dandelion to be destroyed from their deck, it's destroyed and sent to the grave. However, Dandelion effect will not be able to activate on that turn. So, this card is kind of advantage if you actually tribute the boss monster, because the boss monster attacks is 3k. So if you actually tribute the boss monster and your opponent have to destroy up to 6 cards, because the boss monster's attack is 3k, and for every 500 attack points, so that makes up 6 cards. So your opponent have to destroy 6 cards, a total of 6 cards from their hand or from their deck. And one more thing, the boss monster actually can't be targeted by your opponent effect, and they can't be tributed by your opponent effect as well. So say no to Kaiju. Okay, so this is the last new card introduced in this SR06. So this card name is called Shadow King Duke Shadow, and this card have actually 2 effects, and both can be activated once per turn. And you can only spell summon Dark Attribute monster if you activate their either one of its effect. So the first effect is you can actually tribute any number Dark Attribute monster on your field and spell summon this card from your hand. Yep, from your hand, just to make sure, because might be from the graveyard. Okay, so you can actually tribute any number of Dark Attribute monster from your field and spell summon this card from your hand. And this card gains 500 attack points for each Dark Attribute monsters you tributed. And next effect is, if this card is normal summon or spell summon successfully, you can actually add one level 5 and above Dark Attribute monster from your graveyard to your hand. So my opinion is I don't think that this card is going to be really useful in this SR06, and we hope for more updates on the next booster, which is on April, for this structure deck R, because not all structure deck R have additional supports in booster, because usually they it's only supported in this SR06 only, except for maybe Ancient Gear. Yeah, Ancient Gear have additional supports after that in the booster. So we'll hope for more supports. And those are the new cards introduced for this SR06. And now we'll look for the reprints. So these are the reprints from this SR06. So we'll have Chaos, the Mega Monarch. So this is one of the like kind of good reprints in this structure deck are. Okay, and with this Patrol, Hellwave Patrol, this is also a good card. And we have another Phantom of Chaos. This card actually reprinted. The last reprint is on 20th anniversary pack. I think it's a super rare during the last pack. So now it's reprinted as a parallel. I think that this is also a noticeable reprint. So might not be so useful now, but perhaps it's going to be useful in the future. And next is the Allure of Darkness. Every dark attribute decks needs it because of its drawing. Yeah, you pay cost by banishing one dark attribute monster, but you actually pay it after you draw. Unlike the usual draw, you actually paid by discarding before you draw. So this is kind of like a special draw. Next we have Virus. This is the Virus introduced on the last structure deck. And we have cards from the previous structure deck as well. And this is another noticeable reprint. During the last, I forgot which deck uses it, but this card actually gained popularity for some time. Next, okay, Vanity Fiend. This card actually gained popularity during Dark Lord because of Dark Lord ability to special summon monster from the grave. And this card actually steals special summon for both players. Next. For me it's still okay for this, although those are not really bad. But I think it's still fine. Oh, okay, Sakuri Ball. Sakuri Ball is another noticeable reprint because previously it's a book promo, and I think it's kind of strong for this card, especially combo with Link Kuribo. If Link Kuribo is in graveyard, you can normal summon this and tribute this on the field to special summon Link Kuribo from the grave to the field, and activate this effect by drawing one card. Because if this card is tributed, you can actually draw one card from your deck. Then next, you are able to activate this Diablo's effect because a dark attribute monster is tributed for card effect, and you can special summon this card from your hand or from the graveyard. So I think it's kind of a good combo between these two cards. And of course you need to have Link Kuribo as well. Next. Yeah, this one. Previously they used this card in Death's Toy by milling the continuous spell, and you are able to search for one Death's Toy monster. So beside that, I can't really remember which deck actually uses this. Yeah, I think that's it, but it's kind of like a noticeable reprint for me as well. So next, okay, Prohibition. Prohibition actually have its effect errata, and it's actually stronger. Like the usual one, you actually declare for one card name, and both players are unable to actually activate the declared name. And they actually have additional effect now. Both players cannot play that card to the field. Both players cannot activate card effect as the same declared name. Then normal summon, flip summon, and special summon of that monster is not able. And the fourth one, that monster, if it's already on the field when you declare the name, that monster cannot attack or changes its position. And the last one is the most important. That monster cannot be used as a material for spell summoning. For example, if you activate this card and you declare Blue Eyes, you are unable to fusion summon Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon because you are unable to use Blue Eyes White Dragon as a material. But today there's a small release on this. For example, if you declared Blue Eyes White Dragon, both players can actually still special summon Blue Eyes Alternate Dragon, because Blue Eyes Alternate Dragon doesn't count as Blue Eyes White Dragon when it's on your hand. So this is a small update from today's. Next, those are the virus reprint. Well, I think it's kind of expected because this deck actually focuses on virus, playing virus. Yep. So this. Okay. Oh, this is actually a very old card. For both players, either your own self or your opponent, for every magic card you activated, deal 1000 damage. So since this deck actually focuses more on activating the virus, so this actually slow down your opponent, because some deck actually rely heavily on spell, so this deck actually makes them think twice before they activate any spell. Okay, and these are all these 8 cards is like a kind of the noticeable reprints for this SDR. So this video will end here, so thank you for watching. Bye.